Butter Brown. I'm going to trip over that if I say it fast. The whole thing about P Money was because you believe that he was behind Willie's murder, right?
Right.
Okay. So now Charles McCormick comes along and he's putting out a song. He's not signed to a record deal, right?
Right.
His song isn't getting any traction.
Right.
He's nowhere near the level of Ksoo, Hakeem Robinson, right?
Correct.
But your testimony is that was a motive enough for murder. That's your testimony, right?
It's this song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have Mickey Truth.
Who is this? You got Mickey Truth kicked out.
Shout out Mickey.
Let's get one thing clear. This your girl, Mickey Truth.
Oh, Lord. All right, y'all. We've been at this thing over 8 hours. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. All right, so let's talk about today, because I'm not going to do a separate video. I don't feel like it. So today we heard from the cell phone mapping expert. We heard from the phone expert. And we heard from Ksoo's daddy. I'm gonna say this: as far as Ksoo's daddy testimony, I feel like both defense did good at casting reasonable doubt with his testimony, because we have been hearing Chris Brown name since day one. Right? We have been hearing it. Even when when Butter took the stand, remember he said in his testimony that Chris Brown came, like Chris Brown was with him to stalk the victim. Then he had to leave to go pick up his baby mama. Then he came back and he told him, like, go ahead, we're doing something right now, right? And then remember when the forensic expert of the video came out and they was like, well, did you get requests to do Chris Brown? So we have been hearing Chris Brown the whole trial. So now, even though we couldn't see it, the jury saw a picture, of Chris Brown, right? So now it's all like, shit, it could have been Chris Brown. Now, will it be enough reasonable doubt with the jury? I don't know. Because, like, I'm kind of in between personally. But as far as it does have you scratching your head, like, could have been, Chris Brown, right? And then the defense did a good job with pointing out, like, why would Ksoo and Scotty feel that strongly about, unaliving this dude for dissing Willie, who ain't even his brother for real? And then I looked at it like he cared more for, I feel like he cared more for the junior mama than he do Ksoo mama, because Willie was her son. So you was trying to hitman out to get revenge when her son got killed. They brought up the fact that, his other son may get cleared by him testifying and stuff like that. So it did have me thinking like, Ksoo is the odd one out. Now, y'all know up until Blue testimony, I feel like they did enough to prove that, Ksoo was the shooter. But after Blue testimony and how the defense went in there, I'm kind of like, shoot, maybe it is Chris Brown, So now I'm still on the fence, like which way. But all you need is a little bit of doubt to get off on the case. And I feel like today they put a little bit of doubt on Ksoo being a shooter. That's just how I'm looking at it. Y'all may feel differently, but that's just how I'm looking at it. A lot of ish came out. Being a federal informant took me out. That's when I really woke up, because y'all know I fell asleep. So yeah, I feel like Blue wasn't the best witness, but he was a good witness as far as the defense caused doubt, because now it all coming together. When they say, well, the only people that really had an angle would be Blue, Butter, and Brown. That stood out to me, okay? But yeah, that's how I feel about what happened today. We're gonna be back at it tomorrow for day 5. If you missed out on any of the court dates, all of them are on my live. I also do a daily recap, so those videos are there. So yeah, hey, I I wish we could have saw the picture of Chris Brown, like for sure. But if y'all, another thing stood out before I go. Another thing that stood out with me with Blue testimony, you can tell his deal was highly on placing Ksoo as the shooter. Because when the defense started cooking with the whole Chris Brown narrative, he was looking like, yeah, really, y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, really? Like, y'all really trying to do that? But he stood firm on Ksoo being the shooter. That may stand out to people in that way. To me, it stood out like his deal is set on Ksoo being the shooter, which can cause doubt too, because then you look like, what really is causing you to turn on your son? Is you that evil, right? Where you putting this on your son or whatever, right? So I do know Chris Brown is charged on the other case. And remember I said it on the day that Butter testified. I said, it is crazy that Chris Brown was around with the other case and got you told on him on that case. And now you saying he was around, you know what I'm saying, on this case, but he wasn't involved. And I feel like if he was stalking the victim with you, he probably should have got charged with this case. So that stood out to me too, because, you know, the witness already stated that he was with him that morning stalking the victim. So I kind of wonder why he didn't get, the Chris Brown dude didn't get charged in this case, but got charged in the other case. So it's little things like that that's popping out as far as a doubt with the storyline. And again, you don't got to have much, because if you can't for 100% sure go with he's a shooter, all the defense got to do that it's a possibility of another shooter. And today they did that. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, they did that today. Because now I'm like, shit, did Chris Brown do it? You know? And that's all you need for the jury to think that it could be somebody else, and that's a reasonable doubt. And that's about it. I think, you know, as far as Scotty, as far as the murder case, I don't know. It's looking, it depends on what the jury outline is going to be at the end, because it really, the murder itself, because this is just a murder. You know, the home invasion is something different. They really ain't had no evidence for the murder for him besides Butter. So I don't know if that would be enough, you know what I'm saying, to just go off of. Because even with Blue, he was like, yeah, I never heard that he knew about it. So I don't know about, I'm kind of like thinking, you know, maybe something else. There is no reasonable doubt, and there's no reasonable doubt. Okay. Like, we can agree to disagree. I say, as of today, it is reasonable doubt now. Because if you can think it could be another shooter, that's reasonable doubt. But if you don't see that, that's cool. It's okay. I say I felt like it was reasonable doubt, because it even, y'all know, for day 3 and day 4, I have definitely been saying I feel like Ksoo did it, right? Now, here we are, day 4, second part, I'm like, shoot. You know what I'm saying? Maybe could have been somebody else. You ain't got to think 100% that somebody else did it. You just got to think at all it could be somebody else. And you supposed to vote not guilty or undecided, which it will be a hung jury. I know they would hate that, okay? What said it was someone else from the witness stand on the oath. That is evidence, not the defense lawyer saying it. No, the defense team just got to paint the picture, and depending on the answer from the defense, the witness will go with it. You know what I'm saying? So because when they showed the picture and they said he's brown skinned, right? Blue said yes. He kind of went back and forth about the hair, but ultimately he said, yeah, the hair goes down to his chin. Y'all remember the witness from the apartment complex described the guy. Remember, the girl who said she picked up Ksoo described the guy. So when you put all that together, and mind you, remember, opening statements, the defense team said certain witnesses are getting something out of it to say Ksoo name. So when you think about it, like, oh, okay, so boom, they giving this description of this guy, right? Only these people that's benefiting and they're saying it's Ksoo, but it could have been Chris Brown since he fit the description. Now again, everybody may not think like that, but that's how I'm thinking about it now. And I've been very, you know, up back and forth, but today I'm feeling more so it's some reasonable doubt. You know, that's all I'm saying. So again, every jury the people on the jury may not feel that way, but that's just how I'm seeing it outside looking in. And y'all know, at the end of the day, what we do over here when we watch trials is put ourselves in the jury's shoes, how we would go. So like I said, all you need is a little bit of doubt. That's it. I know people gonna hit me up and say is, Ksoo's defense team throwing people under the bus. And I'm gonna say, in my view, it's gonna definitely be up for viewpoints. My viewpoint is no, because these names have been mentioned by state witnesses. It's not that he's bringing new names in. These names have been mentioned by state witnesses. The defense whole narrative is to play on the state's case. So as long as they didn't bring up somebody new, then you can't say it's Ksoo providing names. They use names that was brought up by Butter already. Was brought up by the witness that picked up who she said was Ksoo. You know what I'm saying? So it's other, people that brought these names up, so at the end of the day, the defense teams are doing their job. I don't know who else got to testify. I know early on in the trial, they said Terrian Williams is going to testify. Unlike other cases, they don't let you know in advance, per se, they witness list, so we just have to go with it. But I do know Terrian Williams is set to testify. That's the boyfriend of the white girl who picked up Ksoo, who said she picked up Ksoo. Also, that is supposed to be a close friend with the brother. So, damn, it's thundering bad. So I'm about to get ready to get up off of here because it's a thunderstorm.
This is the weakest. Give a fuck about what they scream.
Holla!
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big. Like,
I'm trying to conquer the world, coming from where I come from.
Hey, this your girl Mickey Truth, #1 blogger in South Carolina. #1 blogger in South Carolina.